Whoa, they say a lot of not nice words in this movie. Are you an everyday nerd? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next episode. Yo, welcome to your Everyday Nerd, the B-Sides edition. I'm your host, Zack Snyder, and on the B-Sides, we talk about the new and trending topics in shorter, unsponsored episodes. It's Oscar season, and I just want to say this right quick. I'm highly disappointed that they're going to be taking the cinematography and the film editing, categories out of the main show. They're going to be putting them during commercial breaks, and that's absolutely ridiculous. Guillermo del Toro said it best on Twitter. I just can't believe that they're doing that. Anyways, I'm not going to watch the Oscars anyways, but I am going to continue our coverage on the Oscar Best Picture nominations with Spike Lee's BlacKkKlansman.
There's never been a black cop in this city. We think you might be the man to open things up around here.
BlacKkKlansman is a dark comedy drama that is based on a true story. It's set in the early 1970s, featuring Ron Stallworth, the first black officer in Colorado Springs Police Department, and his investigation into the Ku Klux Klan. Throughout the course of the film, Ron poses as a racist white man over the phone, while Kylo Ren, a Jewish officer, plays the physical role in meeting and joining the Klan. What we have here is a film that doesn't hold back any of its punches. You hear a lot of profanity mixed in with a lot of very hateful, racist dialogue that's meant to be shocking, historically and topically correct, and also funny. So if there's any group in the world that deserves to be laughed at more, it's racist. These motherfuckers hate somebody else based off of the color of their skin. Now, I'm not belittling tragedies behind racism. Of course, all of that is awful. It's just, if we do like Spike Lee did with this movie, and we laugh at these dumbasses, then I just honestly think that the world's going to be a much better place. Anyways, random soapbox aside, BlacKkKlansman does a lot within its runtime that I really enjoyed. It happens to have these very funny moments while also dealing with a very serious issue. Being based on a true story makes it an even more interesting concept. The fact that this black man and Jewish man are infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan makes for some moments that can be tense and keep you on the edge of your seat. It's something we've never seen before, and that's really dope. Spike Lee's direction is very solid throughout. There's some questionable moments where I thought, why is he putting this shot that looks like it's from one of his music videos? But they were never something that brought the film down, in my opinion. I liked all the lead actors. Each of them were super believable in their roles, which is just what we needed for a film like this. I'd like to see more work with John David Washington, who apparently is Denzel Washington's son. Laura Harrier was in Spider-Man Homecoming, and she plays a completely different character here, but she does a good job at it. Kylo Ren makes an appearance. That's right, Adam Driver. Thankfully, he doesn't appear shirtless in this role, so I was able to actually enjoy his performance. And we even got a guy from That 70s Show. It was weird. I'm not gonna lie, it was weird. He was fine in his role. It was just really weird. But one of the weirdest things about this movie is its soundtrack, which I did like, but it never felt like it belonged in this film. There were moments where I actually thought I was watching Avengers Infinity War, but this isn't that kind of movie. I just didn't understand what was going on in the soundtrack 75% of the time. And this is nominated for Best Soundtrack, which, like I said, I really liked it, but it did not fit with the movie. I enjoyed pretty much everything about this film except for around the 1 hour 30 minute mark. There was this long ass scene where they were going back and forth between a Black Panther meeting and a Klan meeting, and it had to be 20 minutes long. It was the most boring, drawn out scene for no reason whatsoever. It held a completely different tone than the rest of the movie. People were just sitting there and talking. And when I was watching this with friends, we all just wanted the movie to hurry up and get to the point. So it definitely had some pacing issues. I questioned the ending too, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it basically had a very impactful message, and it relates to the events in the film with real life events. I loved the concept, I really did, but it felt a little bit too long, and it wasn't shot like the rest of the film, so you'll know what I mean when you've seen it. It just, I don't know. I felt like it could have made a bigger impact if it worked within the confines of the actual film that we were watching, rather than just kind of tacking it on at the end like it felt. But at the end of the day, I think my biggest issue, and really my only issue with BlacKkKlansman, is it's just too long. We're talking about a 2 hour and 15 minute film, which is like most films these days, but it could have been a really great hour and 45 minute film. I'm not quite sure why certain scenes are too long. There's great character interactions throughout most of it, but then there's just some scenes that don't have a whole lot of them going on right after some really great scenes. I like this movie quite a bit, but I have to wonder if it got a nomination solely based on its message. Other than the fact that it's based on a true story and it has some shocking yet somewhat humorous dialogue, there wasn't much here that made me think best movie of 2018. If anything, I do think it deserves its best adapted screenplay nomination for sure. Adam Driver got a nomination for supporting actor, and sure, he was solid. But then John David Washington didn't get a nomination for lead actor, and he was better than Adam Driver was in this. This also got a nomination for Best Editing, and I didn't have a problem with the editing. I thought it was serviceable, but I didn't feel Best Editing. Once again, I did really like this movie, but I think that there are some big issues in the pacing and its long runtime that made me not want to immediately watch it again. I know last year there were so many heavy hitters, and there were films that I wanted to see again and again. In fact, I've seen like 5 of the Best Picture nominees from last year at least 3 or 4 times. And I don't plan on watching BlacKkKlansman again anytime in the near future. I will get it on Blu-ray at some point and rewatch it in the future sometime. But that shouldn't scare you away from watching this, because I do think it has its merits. I'm just confused as to why it got the Best Picture nomination. Don't worry though, there's quite a few films this year that I got confused about in regards to a Best Picture nomination. We'll get to that later. But that's all the time we have for today. If you liked the video, go hit that like button. If for whatever reason you didn't like it, you can hit that dislike button. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about BlacKkKlansman. Is it worth the Oscar nomination? Go ahead and subscribe for more Your Everyday Nerd, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.